The place where you and I live now, this land was covered with boiling lava 4 billion years ago, whose temperature was more than 5,000 degrees Celsius. There was fire, heat, and such dangerous poisonous gases everywhere, in which it was impossible to breathe, which had covered the entire Earth inside itself. Neither did the sun's light come here, nor was there a single drop of water here. There was no sign of life here, because the temperature here was so high that if any creature had stepped here, it would have turned into ash in a few moments. But then, what happened suddenly, that the hot Earth was as cold as thousands of degrees. And not only cold, but in this universe of billions of stars and planets, only one such place was created where life became possible. Where did these trees, water, humans, and animals come from, and why? Let's know in today's video the story of our Earth. Approximately 6.5 billion years ago, there was nothing in our space except a cloud made of dust and gases and a star. The entire space was completely empty and silent. Scientists have named this gas cloud as the solar nebula. This cloud was mainly made of hydrogen and helium gases, which are among the most common elements in the universe. There were some other elements present in this cloud, such as oxygen, carbon, nitrogen, and silicon, from which most of the planets in our solar system have been formed. This cloud had been silent for billions of years, spreading for 100 light years. That is, it takes 100 years for the light to reach its starting point to its ending point. But one day, in that star present next to it, which we just mentioned, there was a very big explosion, which scientists call the supernova explosion. This explosion was so terrible and intense that all the gases, dust, and all the elements inside the cloud began to compress very quickly, due to which it began to collapse towards its center. During this compression, this cloud began to rotate very quickly. As it was compressed, it began to turn into a rotating disk. This process is called the solar nebula hypothesis. A nuclear fusion reaction began to take place in the center of this rotating disk, whose temperature was more than 15 million degrees, 1.5 billion degrees, from which our sun came into its formation, from which energy, heat, and light are formed due to the nuclear fusion reaction. The sun holds 99.76% of our solar system alone, while the remaining 0.14% is made up of all other planets, moons, comets, and asteroids. After the formation of our sun, all the dust and gas particles around it collide due to its gravitational force. Because of these collisions, they kept getting bigger, and their size kept increasing, which scientists named planetesimals. These planetesimals were many kilometers-long rocks in space, which became bigger and bigger due to the collision of each other. And finally, scientists named them protoplanets, like our moon. The moon is also a protoplanet. In the beginning, the temperature near the sun in our solar system was so high that only metal and rock could survive. And because of this, these 4 planets came into existence: Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Earth. These 4 planets are called scientists' rock planets. At that time, there was a hellish scene on all these planets. There were asteroids falling from the sky, fire, heat, and lava seas all around, which gave them a hellish scene. In the early days, the surface of our Earth was covered with molten hot lava, from which a lot of poisonous gases kept coming out. And many kinds of asteroids kept colliding with the surface of the Earth. Let's say that the rain of asteroids on the Earth was like fire, but these were the asteroids that worked to bring water to our Earth. When they came out of that solar cloud and fell on our Earth, they had ice crystals inside them, which kept bringing water to our Earth for thousands of years. Those asteroids fell on the ground and were destroyed, and the water inside them evaporated and rained like rain. This process continued on the Earth for thousands of years. The Earth began to cool down with rain and the water coming out of these asteroids. and the surface of the Earth began to harden and become quite large in size. Due to the cooling of the upper surface, all heavy metals such as iron and nickel, etc., went to the core of the Earth, the center. In addition to these 4 planets in the solar system, due to the gravity of the Sun, gas and dust came together to form planets. Like Jupiter, Neptune, and Uranus, which scientists also call gas giants, because most of them are made of particles of gases and dust. Due to their large size, their gravity was much higher than that of the Earth, because of which the asteroids that were orbiting in space, now, instead of falling on the Earth, they collided with these gas giants, which stopped the asteroids from falling on the Earth. But it took more than 1 billion years for all these planets in the entire solar system to form. After which, our solar system was completed. But now, there was one more thing that was yet to happen on our Earth. And that was the magnetic field of the Earth. Yes, it is that magnetic field which saves us from the harmful radioactive solar flare coming from the Sun. The magnetic field of our Earth has spread about 65,000 miles in space. It took about 1.5 billion years for it to form around the Earth. This field is at the shortest length on the North and South poles, because of which some solar flares of the Sun collide with the atmosphere on these 2 poles on the Earth and give us this beautiful view of the aurora lights. The Earth, which had competed with the solar storms, but there was still one more thing to be done, which was going to give the Earth a view of destruction again. And that was our moon. Yes, it is the moon, because of which we are alive today. And life began on Earth. According to scientists, when our solar system was being formed, there was a planet the size of Mars in it, which separated from its orbit and went straight towards the Earth and collided with the Earth very quickly. This explosion was so big that a very large part of the Earth separated from it and flew into space. And millions of TNTs of energy came out of this collision. But it was necessary to start life. When the planet collided with the Earth, and a part of the Earth flew into space, then instead of going far into space, it kept revolving around the Earth, because the gravity of the Earth did not let it separate from itself. Many years passed, and those dust and stone pieces kept joining together, which gave our moon its existence. So dear friends, this was our today's video. But what do you think about this video? Do let us know in the comments section. If you liked the video, do like and share it, and support us. We will be back with a new video. Till then, take care. Goodbye.